SSS Veda, day 28. This is serious. So I want to share with you something that comes up in a lot of spreadsheets. Something fundamental, something serious, and something that I really want for you to get. And for those of you who have this already, please share it. I'm going to use a simple example. Let's say we have 145 ounces of cookie dough, and we want to see how many cookies we can get out of this cookie dough. 145 ounces, half-ounce cookies. How many half-ounce cookies equals 145 divided by 0.5. It's 290 cookies. But look, this is where it gets serious. I just did something terrible. I did what's called hard code numbers in a formula. Because what'll happen is now we want to do 0.75. Now we have to type that formula in again. And then we want to say, okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Equals 145 divided by 0.75. Okay, 193 and a third. Okay, but now I actually have 130 ounces of cookie dough. So let's go into this one formula and change it. 130. And then the phone rings. I pick up the phone. I go do my stuff. And then I come back and I'm looking at, I got 260. I got 193. Let's go with the 193. Then what? I don't have 193 cookies worth of cookie dough because I've said I've actually got 130, but I only changed it here. Now this is when this gets serious. The book of Revelation 21:8. But for the cowardly and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and immoral persons and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars, their part will be in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Now, if we go back and look at this, they talk about abominable and immoral. And hard coding numbers in a formula is both abominable and immoral. Please get that. You don't want to be abominable. You don't want to be immoral. You don't want your part to be in the lake that burns with fire and brimstone. So, brothers and sisters, please share this knowledge because I see it in spreadsheets and I hear the complaints about this abomination, this sin, this violation, the transgression. I hear about it a lot. And that just means the line at the lake of fire is just getting longer and longer. And one other thing is an abomination. Green bell peppers. Nigella Lawson, the journalist and judge on Iron Chef, she has said green peppers are an abomination. They are not to be enjoyed. So let's get this together tonight, people. Let's get it together tonight. It stops tonight. Green bell peppers and hard coding numbers and formulas. Let's look at the good way to do this. We're going to talk about relative and absolute cell references. All right. So we're going to say equals 145, which is B3. See the formula equals B3 divided by E3. Now, how can we drag this formula down and have the formula stay intact? So I'm going to copy this down, and this is not right. And let's look at it this way. When I highlight up in the address bar, the formula components are highlighted. Let's go down to the next one. The one that should be in B3 is now in B4, but the E4 did move from B3. We do want that. So how do we get B3 to stay when we drag the formula down? I'm going to undo this. Okay. We do that this way. We're going to press F4 around B3. Now, $B, $3. What does that mean? That means when this formula is moved, that reference will always be B3. E3 will move on us. So let's do this. We got 290, 193, 145 if we do 1 ounce cookies. And if we do 1.5 ounce cookies, we will get 96.7 cookies from it. And if we go down here and highlight, now we can see B3 stayed the same, but E3 did move E4, E5, E6, E7. Great. So now what we can do is if we did change the dough and say we've got 130 ounces of dough, everything changes. So what we would say about $B, $3 is that it is an absolute reference. E3 is a relative reference. Now let's make mixed references. I'm going to change this example a bit so that we can look at this a better way. Now I want to see how many packages of cookies I would get from 260 total cookies, and if I packaged them up in, say, groups of 15. Okay, we want to make a matrix now. So I want to go equals 260 divided by 5. So I get 52. Now, how do I handle the relative and absolute cell references? In this cell, we want column F to stay the same when we drag this off to the right. We do want row 3 to change. So we put a $sign in front of F and leave 3 alone. And what about G2? We want G to be able to turn into HIJK, but we don't want the row to change. So we will put a $sign in front of the row 2. Let's drag this over and down. Now we can see if we had 260 cookies that were a ½ ounce each, and we packed them in packages of 15, we would get a little more than 17 packages. And if we had packs of 20 and 1.5 ounce cookies, we would have more than 4 packs of cookies. Those are your absolute and relative cell references. They come up a lot. You'll see that we didn't have to write these formulas all over again, and everything remains integrated. What if we said, I want to look at 10 instead of 15? What if I said, I've got 200 ounces of dough. Everything changes. I can expand this and say 1.75 ounces. It carries over. Everything hangs together. And now you can understand why, when absolute and relative cell references are available to us and they're not used, they are indeed an abomination and immoral. My friends, the mayhem and sin stops tonight.